When a manager who demands ritual and rigor stands in public and draws a direct line between a teenager and Lionel Messi, the football universe does more than take notice, it rearranges its expectations. Marcelo Bielsa, a coach whose name is shorthand for exacting standards and uncompromising structure, didn't offer a flattering throwaway. He offered a verdict. Lamine Yamal is the kind of player who, by sheer audacity and technical clarity, changes the way matches are decided. That line, just like Messi, lands like a bell. It's not about glittering headlines or teenage hype, it's about tactical consequence. Consider what Bielsa represents, a lifetime of refining movement patterns, of stripping players down to essentials, and then building teams where every pass and run has purpose. When he singles someone out, he's not commenting on hairstyle or marketability, he's commenting on function. Lamine Yamal, at 17, has the slick left foot, the razor timing, the fearless body control, and the spatial imagination to take a lateral pass, see 2 or 3 opponents, and still make the ball and the moment belong to him. That's rare. That's Messi-esque in the purest sense, not because of trophies or ads, but because both players possess the ability to render structure irrelevant. Give them space, and they'll invent the rest. Bielsa's other point is as important as the comparison. He argues that Yamal doesn't require a classical playmaker to unlock defenses. He needs serviceable lateral balls and a team that recognizes how to feed a predator. That flips the scouting script. Clubs that chase creators may now be compelled to hunt for players who can finish and craft chaos from narrow channels. Opponents will not simply mark him. They will try to change the geometry of their defensive lines. Suddenly, tactical diagrams get rewritten in real time. Off the field, Bielsa's defense of Yamal reads like a lesson in perspective. Journalists amplify the nightlife, the social snapshots, the human details that make for clicks, but Bielsa returns the conversation to metrics, training hours, monitored recovery, nutrition, and a regime that can make gifted teenagers durable. He's not condoning reckless behavior, he's weighing priorities and outcomes. When a coach notes that a young player follows a regimented program and still has a social life, the implication is clear. The player's professional envelope remains intact. That matters because for every club that dreams of selling shirts, there are coaches calculating minutes, fatigue, and development curves. There's also the market effect. A public endorsement from a figure of Bielsa's stature inflates perceived value instantly. Negotiations now sit against a narrative. This is not just another hot prospect, this is a generational lever. Agents will point to the comparison, clubs will table revised offers, rivals will consider preemptive tactical shifts or recruitment gambits. For Barcelona, the stakes are twofold. Protect the asset and build a squad that amplifies rather than constrains his talents. For opponents, the immediate task is pragmatic. How do you limit a player who thrives on chaos without creating space elsewhere? Press tighter and you risk opening lanes for teammates. Drop deeper and he gets room to operate between lines. That strategic tug-of-war is why Bielsa's words matter beyond celebrity. They are a primer for the chess match to come. For fans, nostalgia is unavoidable. The Messi comparison conjures images of genius, of moments that become folklore. But it's crucial to separate metaphor from blueprint. Yamal is his own player, younger, different, faster in certain transitions, perhaps more direct in his reading of modern pressing patterns. The Messi tag accelerates attention, not destiny. The real test will be consistency under pressure, sustained performance when opponents have time to prep, when contract tension buzzes in the background, and when expectation becomes a physical weight. What should you watch next? Every game where rivals change their formation, every press conference where managers admit they've altered plans because of him, every transfer window where clubs adjust valuations, that's where the Bielsa line becomes more than a headline, it becomes a running experiment. In the heat of that experiment, something else happens. The sport gets to witness how genius is handled by institutions. Will Barcelona build an ecosystem that protects and extends the talent? Will rival coaches attempt to blunt him tactically or lure him into contexts where his game shrinks? For now, there's a simpler truth. When a coach like Marcelo Bielsa steps forward and says a teenager can solve games single-handedly, we should listen. Not for the spectacle, but for the responsibilities that follow. to the player, to the team, and to the way football decides who becomes legend and who becomes a lesson.